Hi, I'm Sasha Segan from PCMag.com, here comparing the iPhone X against a whole bunch of other premium smartphones. The first thing I want to show you is the iPhone X screen, because that's the first thing you see. This is Apple's first OLED screen. It's a 19.5:9 aspect ratio, which is taller and narrower than, say, the traditional iPhone 8 Plus screen here. It's also higher resolution. We're 2436 by 1125 as opposed to 1920 by 1080. So what's happening in the Android world? Well, the Galaxy S8 has a 5.8-inch screen similar to the iPhone X's, also OLED, also really good quality. The Galaxy S8 screen is also tall and narrow. It's 18 by 9, so it's not quite as narrow as the 19.5 by 9 here. On the LG V30 right here, we have a 6-inch AMOLED screen in an 18.5 by 9 configuration. Now, LG's OLEDs have been criticized for not being quite as saturated or as bright as Samsung's OLEDs, which Samsung and Apple use. And of course, the most controversial OLED that we've had this year is the one here on the Google Pixel 2. People have criticized the Google Pixel 2 for colors being very blue and in some views a little dull, especially compared to, say, these Apple colors or the hyper-saturated Samsung colors. Google says that this is a valid choice to make colors what they say are more realistic. Now let's talk about the cameras. The iPhone X has dual 12-megapixel cameras, one of which is a 2x lens. Both of them are optically stabilized for better performance in low light and less shaky videos. Compared to the iPhone 8 Plus here, very similar camera performance, except that additional stabilization should give you slightly smoother videos when you're recording with the 2x lens. All of our other top smartphones took different approaches. The Galaxy S8 only has one camera. You have no 2x lens here. It's a very good camera, but you don't get that optical zoom, also 12 megapixels. On the back of the LG V30, they took a unique choice. It's a wide-angle camera. This gives you completely different kinds of photos than the 2x zoom cameras do, and you need to think about whether you're taking photos of things that you want to get closer to, or things like, say, sports games or dances where you may want to get the whole picture, a big picture in a wide-angle camera. The Google Pixel has a single camera like the Galaxy S8, so you don't get that optical zoom. However, the Google Pixel's camera has been rated so far to be the best camera, the best single camera on any smartphone anywhere right now. So now you've also got to ask, how does it feel in the hand? These are all premium smartphones. They're made of glass and metal. They're hard and smooth and warm, and all the manufacturers say they're durable, but of course they are all breakable, so you want to put them all in a case. In terms of size, if you have smaller hands, of course, the best one for you is going to be the Galaxy S8. It's the smallest and narrowest. It fits most easily in a small hand. However, there's one really irritating design element on the Galaxy S8. A lot of people don't like how the fingerprint sensor is on the back of the phone. You can easily put your finger over the camera lens unless you're in a case where the case guides you to the fingerprint sensor. The next one up in size would be the iPhone X. The iPhone X still fits into a relatively small hand. It is much smaller physically than the iPhone 8 Plus, which is right here. Now, some people with big hands say they prefer the 8 Plus with its giant bezels and its wider screen because the keyboard is wider, and that lets them mistype less often. If you want a bigger Android phone, the LG V30 and the Google Pixel 2 XL both have 6-inch screens. They're bigger and wider for slightly bigger hands than the Galaxy S8 is. The Pixel 2 XL has this very nice matte sort of ceramic feel on its metal back, whereas the V30 is my least favorite back with what feels like a plasticky coating even though it is a glass back. That said, they both have very nicely placed fingerprint sensors, whereas the iPhone X, of course, has no fingerprint sensor at all. You have to use Face ID. Of course, you're really coming to the iPhone for iOS, aren't you? The iPhone X runs iOS 11, and there are iPhone X exclusive features. They're usually around AR and around the front-facing camera, which has an infrared dot projector which can map your face. These features include Animoji, which turn you into a sort of motion map talking emoji, and some of these masks that Snapchat and some other social networking apps are starting to put on your face. But they're going to spread. We have the iOS experience here, but plus, the maximum iOS experience on the iPhone X. That said, you will get almost all of the features here on the iPhone 8 Plus, including the same fast A11 processor to run your iOS apps. Now, our 3 Android phones offer very different software. People love the Google software on the Pixel 2 XL. They think it's clean, they think it's smooth, it's running the latest version of Android, which is Android Oreo. It looks great and it works well. Samsung's software has gotten lighter and smoother with time, but Samsung still has a very different design than Google tends to have. LG's has the heaviest software with the most overlapping apps and the most design changes from Google. Overall, if elegance in software matters to you, then you're probably going with either the iPhone X's iOS, which a lot of designers and design type people love, or the pure Google experience on the Pixel 2 XL. We're in the middle of reviewing the iPhone X right now, and we're going to compare it to these other phones. So check back on PCMag.com for our full review of the iPhone X and more iPhone coverage.